So, I just wanted to tell you how yesterday went and just tell you a little bit about. Probably this video is going to be more about what I do to prepare. There is something I do want to tell you about though today before we start, is that this jumper is possibly telling me all I need to know right now. I need more sleep. It's exactly what I need right now. So I noticed yesterday that there were a few things that I do before I go to any event, and I've always done them, but I've never really known that they are part of preparing for an act that I do. Because I've always kind of just done it. I've just thought, well, you're preparing to go out, aren't you? You're going out for a night out. You don't. So one of the things that I do is I I definitely put a lot of makeup on, a lot more than like my day-to-day kind of. In fact, to be fair, I'm not really a fan of makeup these days. I don't always like to have my eyes made fully up and stuff like that. So I wear a lot less than I used to, but when I go out to any social thing, I do like to have makeup, and I do love makeup. So obviously, I love it, as in I love how it can transform me and make me feel more confident, I guess. So that's a huge thing. But yeah, I make sure I've got a lot of makeup. Then I make sure I take ages on picking my clothes because I'm trying to look the part. So there are some days when I actually can't make a decision on my clothes. I actually feel kind of a little bit it just pull out a load of clothes, try them on, and nothing looks right. So there are days like that, but yeah, try on a lot of clothes. I'm thinking now of all these movies that show women doing this. I mean, women do mask quite a lot anyway, I guess, but another part of it is that I noticed particularly yesterday, something that I'm not particularly proud of really, is that I do actually drink quite a lot. I'm trying to learn to use healthy coping mechanisms. Like, well, actually, this is what this is. This is a bit of a trial thing at the moment. Me and Rich have got like these stress balls. And actually, weirdly, I find them quite good. So yeah, I'm trying different like things to kind of reduce stress in a healthy way, because I realize that there are healthy and unhealthy coping mechanisms since doing my psychology course, and I just want to be focusing more on the healthier ones. I'm trying to do that. But yesterday I didn't really do that. I drank a lot of wine before I went, just before I went. And then I drank wine while I was there, and there were some uncomfortable situations with like people moved seats, and I didn't really know where to go, and I thought I'm just going to stay where I am. I had to pause my video for the dog then to tell her to quiet down. um, so yeah, I think healthy coping mechanisms is something that I'd like to train myself to do. And I've got a list of healthy coping mechanisms: a cup of tea, having a bath sometimes. Always loved a bath ever since I was younger, and having a bath is one of them. Um, you know, healthy coping mechanisms. Listening to music. I love certain positive songs that just kind of uplift me. Meditating's another one. Affirmations. So many healthy coping mechanisms, but alcohol's not one of them. And I don't mind that I drink alcohol, but I have to be really, really super aware of what I'm doing when I'm drinking alcohol. And yesterday I did use it as just to block things out a little bit, because there were a lot of people. It was quite quiet where I was sat, thankfully, and weirdly enough, I was quite happy with that, because I was able to eat my meal, even though I was talking to the people to the right of me. But I still ended up taking food home. So yeah, coping mechanisms is something that I'm quite keen to kind of get into on another video, and just learning how to um understand what I go through. I know that my anxiety right before I go out has always been a huge thing. Sometimes I've had meltdowns just before we're going out the door, because I'm not huge ones, but I've just got like I lose things. I lose my keys right before I leave. Um just everything just goes crazy right just the second before we walk out the door. And then as soon as I'm in I know that in the past I've definitely used alcohol a lot more often. Um that used to be my night out. I mean, I used to just drink a lot of alcohol, and that was it, you know. And then usually wake up feeling awful the next day, and that was my coping mechanism for a long time. So I have actually made it a rule that, you know, in fact, I've tried a few things just to brave myself going out without alcohol. You know, brave myself to go and do karaoke without alcohol. There's a few things that I've done just to kind of calm down on that coping mechanism. But yeah, it's one of those things that I've just got to get control of and make sure that I don't use it to help me socialize. I mean, I worry that the only other option would be to not socialize. Um, but I've always socialized and tried to be social. Um, or if I'm, or just get better at saying no, which I'm not very good at doing either. Um, yeah, I find that really hard. I don't know if anybody can say anything that, you know, can comment on that, or say if they find that hard. I find it really hard to say no to people when they want me to do things. I am a people pleaser. And I have kind of seen a lot of people who are autistic become people pleasers, because that's how you become liked. You just find a way to please people no matter what. And in it, with that comes not being able to say no when I need to. And I really want to start standing up for myself, because I feel like you should be able to stand up for yourself. I feel like you should be able to advocate for yourself and say, actually, I don't feel like doing this. There's a handful of people that I can say that to and not feel really guilty. And it's a very, very small handful of people that are very close to me and know me really well. But generally, I don't say no.